You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Korea just confirmed a second semiconductor megacluster, and the jobs pipeline is expanding far beyond just Samsung and SK Hynix.
Yeah, I mean, SK Hynix's supplier support center alone processes 20,868 analysis requests a year from small manufacturers.
Which is up 56% since 2019.
Right, showing that hiring demand runs really deep into the component ecosystem.
Plus, there's this 870 billion won testbed called Trinity Fab, targeting a May 2027 launch.
And meanwhile, in automotive, Tesla just outsold Hyundai in Korea's domestic EV market natively, 56,139 units to 39,575.
So before you submit your applications, this data completely changes which layers of Korea's ecosystem are actually hiring. It's Tuesday, July 7th. Let's look at what this means for job seekers or graduates in Korea.
It is definitely a crucial time to map this out.
Okay, so let's unpack this deep dive from the AI Prism Careers edition by SE Daily. Let's start with that massive 2.5 million Gwangju site for the 4 new fabs.
Right, the sheer scale of it is wild.
Yeah, but how does a land commitment that huge actually translate to immediate job creation for you, the listener?
Well, it really comes down to policy and, honestly, speed. The government is using this super fast-track permitting process.
Which means what, exactly?
It means they run land, environmental, and infrastructure approvals all simultaneously. So it drastically compresses these mega project timelines.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you mentioned Trinity Fab's May 2027 launch. That 870 billion KRW, or roughly 620 million USD, enables suppliers to test full 300mm wafers.
Meaning they can bypass bottlenecks and accelerate getting onto the main production lines.
Exactly. It's a huge deal for them.
It's like, I kind of view the Sobojang sector, the materials, components, and equipment guys, as the road crew building the stage, rather than the rock stars.
Oh, I like that analogy. Yeah, they're doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Right. And right now, that crew is hiring the fastest. But I do have to push back a little bit.
Sure.
Are the major tech giants actually securing the long-term demand to justify all this? Like, is the ecosystem boom actually safe?
The data says yes. I mean, Samsung Electronics just locked in about 30% of its Q2 2026 memory contracts as long-term supply agreements.
Wait, really? 30% already?
Yeah, it's a huge signal of sustained stability for the KOPII. And a lot of that is Chairman Lee Jae-young aggressively pursuing these massive AI clients.
Okay, so the rock stars definitely have their gigs booked.
Right, the demand is secured.
But conversely, looking at the EV data you mentioned earlier, Tesla's 28.2% EV market share and BYD jumping to 5.9% pushed Hyundai to third place natively.
Yeah, though it is worth noting Kia still leads domestic automakers with 72,078 EV sales.
True. But the intense pressure from Tesla is forcing a massive shift across the board, isn't it?
What's fascinating here is that this structural shift forces traditional K-balls to rapidly extend their technical resources down to their broader supply chains.
Because they can't just keep the innovation isolated at the top anymore.
Exactly. They desperately need their suppliers to be just as cutting edge to keep up with Tesla's software supremacy.
So, recovering our main point about targeting your career, that 20,868 figure for supplier requests tells you the most immediate hiring pressure isn't at the flagship fabs.
No, it's heavily in the materials, components, and equipment companies.
Right. The Trinity Fab and Gwangju cluster timelines mean that if you're building credentials in process engineering or materials science.
Yeah, over the next 12 to 18 months specifically.
Exactly. You are entering the market at the absolute perfect moment.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, domestic automakers facing that EV pressure from Tesla, well, they're shifting their hiring budgets away from traditional manufacturing.
Yeah, and heavily toward EV software platforms.
It's a total structural transformation we're watching happen in real time.
It really is. Which leaves you with a really provocative thought to chew on as you plan your next move.
Yeah.
If automotive and semiconductor giants increasingly rely on their suppliers for speed and innovation, how long until working for a Tier 1 supplier carries more prestige and stability than working for the flagship brand itself?
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.